Hello everyone, I'm Alicia. For this video, I'm going to show you how to make this gorgeous bracelet using beads from the dollar bead box. And this box was September 2017. And by the way, I know some of you guys are going to ask me this. This bracelet is made using beading thread. I tried doing monofilament for this and it will not work. The monofilament makes it all ripply and bumpy. It's not laying flat, so you have to use a beading thread to do this. And we will be using right angle weave to make this bracelet, and we get this really cool look because we're using different sizes of beads. So let's get started. Here is the list of materials you will need to make a bracelet. You will need to cut 8 feet of 8-pound or 10-pound fireline. Now, I've already made this with the 8-pound fireline, and I had to take it apart. You know, when you're designing, you make things, take it apart, you adjust beads here and there, different sizes and stuff. And when I was working on this, I realized that I could have totally used a heavier beading thread. So I would prefer to do this with 10-pound fireline, but I only have it in smoke, which is a black color, and I need a 10-pound crystal, and crystal means, you know, the white color. And I'm using white beads, so I have to kind of stay with the white thread. So if you guys have a 10-pound fireline in the crystal, you might want to use it for this, because we're using a lot of beads and big beads, and it's going to be a heavy bracelet. You do want a thicker beading thread. Now, I've always used fireline, and I have tried other threads, but once I found fireline, it's a thread that I love so much that I stopped looking for other threads because I just love it so much. But one time I went to the store and I saw that they had wildfire, and I was looking at it and I instantly noticed that it was much thicker than fireline, and I realized that it would probably work really good for this project because we are not using any seed beads. We're using larger beads, so if you have a wildfire, that would probably also be good for this project too. So other than using the 8 feet of 8 or 10-pound fireline, I am using beads from the dollar bead box. Everything I am using is from the dollar bead box except for my thread. So these here are 7mm Czech fire polish beads in the green and in this metallic pink color. It's really pretty pink. And these here are 4mm Czech druks in 2 color. And when you hear Czech druks, that just means it's a round bead. These here are 3mm Czech fire polish beads, and this is the Czech button that I also got in my dollar bead box, and it's so cute. There were 2 other colors that were 3mm that would have worked with this. There was a blue that was really pretty and a nice brown, and I was actually going to use the brown for this. And then I realized that I can use a button. It would be strange if I just had a white button, so then I went with the white so I can use this button as a closure. Now you're also going to need beading needles. I'm using 2 size 10 beading needles, and I just wanted to show you guys this is the only leftover beads I'm going to have after this bracelet. So this is the list of materials. Now I didn't count any of this, and if you want, go down in the description bar. I will count them for you and tell you how many I've used of each bead. And if you guys make this bracelet and you love it and you want to make another one and you don't have 7mm Czech fire polish beads, you probably could use 6mm, and I wish that I had more time because I would have loved to make 2 bracelets because this design is really pretty. So this is the list of materials. I'll put it down in the description bar. Let's get started. I went ahead and I put my thread onto my needles, and I made sure that I had the same amount of tail on each side, as you could see, so I didn't run out of tail on one side. And now I'm ready to start, and I'm going to start by picking up a purple 4mm, my 7mm, and a purple 4mm. Just like that, I'm going to slide those down, and I'm going to pick up another 7mm, and I'm going to crisscross through this bead. I'm going to put these needles together and bring this bead down to the very center of the thread. So I now have this. Okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one needle, and I'm right-handed, so I'll do it in that hand. I'm going to pick up one purple 4mm, one 7mm, and a 4mm. Okay, I'll slide these two down, and I'm going to crisscross my needles through this one. Bring this bead down. So we have this. Okay, so I'm fixing to add my button here, and I needed to make this in a way so that I can reinforce my button at least twice and reinforce this part, because if I have two threads here, then this section here was pulling, I noticed. So I'm going to pick up one 4mm in this teal color on each side, and my button, and I'm going to crisscross my needles through the button, bring it down, okay, and pull it tight. So we now have this. So now what I have to do is reposition my needles, because they need to exit out of this green one, but I need to reinforce this. So I'm going to reinforce the button, reinforce this area here, and then exit out here. So I'll take this needle, okay, it's coming out this side of the button. I'm going to pass through this teal bead and through the purple. I'll do that one shot. Okay, and then I'm going to go through this green, same needle, through the big bead, the 7mm, and then through this purple one, pull that tight, and then through the 7mm. Okay, so this needle is now ready to add more beads, but my other one is not. I have to reposition that one. So this one is coming out of the button right here, so I'm going to take and pass through this teal bead, and if I can, I can't, it's too tight. I'll go through the teal bead now, okay, and then through the purple druk, okay, then through my green, and there I am. I am now ready to continue weaving this. So I'm going to tighten up my work, take my thread and pull it tight. Okay, so now we have this. It looks good. So now to continue the weave, I have three 7mm Czech fire polish beads. I actually need 4 in a row. So with this needle, this thread that's over here, I have to take that thread, pick up one 4mm in the purple, one green 7mm, and one 4mm in the purple. I'm going to take my other needle and crisscross both needles through this one bead. Okay, and by the way, we are doing right angle weave for this bracelet, and we're doing different sizes of beads, and we're going to really get a really cool look. Okay, so this is what we have now. We have one row complete. So now what I have to do, if you want, you can flip this all different ways. I think I'm going to lay it like this for this row. With this thread here, it's on the outside of our bracelet, so that means I'm going to be picking up more beads with this one. So I'm going to pick up a white bead, and my next color is going to be the teal and a white bead. Okay, so there's 3 beads here, and this one here is my 4th, total of 4. So I'm going to slide these down, and I'm going to crisscross my needles through the last white bead I added. Bring this down, pull it tight. If it's not going tight, you'll have to take your fingernails, go in there, adjust that, make this loose to tighten that up. So now I have this. Now I'm going to take this thread right here and pass through that purple bead. Okay, so through that one bead, just the one in the middle, pass through there. We now have this. So on this string, I'm going to take and pick up my teal bead and a white one, slide them down and crisscross through the white one. Bring this down, Okay, pull it tight, and we now have this. So now I have to take this thread and go through that purple bead. Alright, so just like that. Pull through. Now, with this thread, I'm going to be picking up the beads. So I'm going to be picking up a white and my teal color, and I'm going to crisscross my needles through the teal bead. Bring this down. Okay, so there we go. We just completed another row. It's looking good. It looks really nice when you put the pink in. So now I'm going to flip this and swap my needles, because I'm going to start picking up beads with my other needle now, or exchanging. Okay, so this thread here is going down, okay, and this one's going up inward to the center of the bracelet. So the one that's going down, that's the one I have to pick beads up with now. So I have my pink 7mm, okay, and then I'm going to do a teal bead, the 4mm teal, which is called apatite, but I just call it teal because that's the color it is, and then another pink bead. So I'm going to slide these two down out of my way, slide this one down too, but this one we are going to cross our needles through. So just like this. Okay, and if you look, see how it's loose there? I just pulled this open, the one I just made, I pulled that open so that the last one tightens up like that. Okay, now I'm going to hold it just like this and take this thread here and pass through this bead in the middle. So now I have this. Okay, so now on this needle on the right side, I'm going to pick up a teal bead and a pink bead, and I'm going to cross through the pink one. Bring this down. Pull it tight. We now have this. I have to take this thread right here on the left side, and I'm going to pass up through this bead, the teal one. Okay. So I now have this. Okay, so on the left needle I'm going to pick up a pink bead and then a teal bead, my 4mm, and then I have to cross through this one with both needles. Okay, so crossing through there, I now have another row complete. It's looking really pretty. So now I have to repeat the white part again. So again, I will flip this over because I'm going to be picking up beads of the other string now. I'm going to pick up a white 3mm, okay, and now I'm going to be going back to this green, so I have to pick up a purple and then another white, just like that. Slide these two out of my way and crisscross my needles to that last white bead I added. Okay, now I have this. I'm going to take this needle, pass through this bead here. Okay, like that. And it's getting loose there, so I'll just loosen. This one's getting loose, so I'll loosen this one up and pull that tight. I'm going to add some more beads and hopefully it'll tighten that area up there for me. On this needle here, I will pick up one purple, one white, crisscross through the white bead. Pull that tight. I'll go back, loosen that up there, and pull it all tight. Okay, so now I have this. So now I have to take this thread right here and pass through this teal bead that's right there, that one right there. Okay, and again I'm going to flip this over because I'm going to be using this string now to pick up beads, and I'm going to pick up a white 3mm and a 4 millimeter purple, and I'm going to crisscross through this bead and bring it on down. Okay, now I have to pull it tight. Pull it very tight. We just finished another row, and this is how it looks. It looks really good. Love the colors, so pretty. Okay, so I'm exiting down here. Okay, that means I have to pick up more beads. So with this string, I'm going to pick up my 7 millimeter in the green, and then a purple, slide those down, and then another 7 millimeter, and this one I have to cross through. Okay, I now have this. So now I have to take this thread and pass through that bead there. So just like this. Okay, did that. Now I'm going to pick up a purple bead on my right side and a green and crisscross through the green one. Okay, pull that tight. I now have this. I'm going to take this thread right here on my left side and pass through this purple druk, like that. Now this thread is going out, it's pointing outward, so that means I have to pick up my last 7 millimeter for this row and a purple bead, and I have to crisscross through this purple bead. And pull that tight. Okay, so now I have this. So you can see now I have that row of purple, green, purple, white, teal, pink, teal, white, purple, green, purple. The next row is going to be white. And then I have the teal. So if this is what I like to do, okay? Looking back at what I've already done, I'm Xing out this purple bead here, okay? There's green and then purple. If you look back here, this is where we're at right here, okay? So the next bead I pick up is this white one, a teal, and a white to repeat the pattern. So I'll move my stuff closer. A white bead, a teal, and my white. Crisscross through the third bead added, the white one. Okay, now I have this. Now if you feel comfortable with this, you can just keep going without me if you want, but I will show a little bit more because I don't like to leave the newbies hanging. Okay, so that's what I have now. So on this thread here I have to pick up another teal. Another teal bead and a white one. Crisscross through the white one. Just like that. I have to take my needle on the left side. This thread here is going to go through that bead. Okay. And then I will flip this again because I'm short-handed so I could pick up more beads. Now on the thread that's pointing out, I'm going to pick up a white bead and my last teal bead for this row and crisscross through this bead. Okay, pull it tight. We now have this. So now I have to start the pink row. So again, looking back, I'll zoom in close. We're right here, okay, at this teal bead. So if you look back at what we've already done, in front of this teal bead is the white row. So if you look back to here, we have this white row and then the teal. The next bead we're going to pick up is the pink, teal, and pink. We're going to cross through this one. Okay, so I'm going to zoom back out, and with my right needle I'm going to pick up a pink, a teal, and a pink. Slide these two down out of your way and crisscross through this pink one. Okay, just like this. Take this thread right here and pass through this middle teal bead, the 4mm. Just getting caught on everything, aren't I? Okay, just like this. And on the outside string, this one here, I have to pick up one teal bead and one pink bead, and I'm going to cross through the pink. Cross both needles, bring it down. Okay, I'm going to pull this tight, and I'll go back. If you need to go back and do adjusting, grab the beads in front of it that you just did, loosen those up, and then pull the beads you just did tight. So we have this. Okay, so with this thread right here, I have to pass through that last teal bead. Okay, so through that one. Now with this thread here, it's pointing out, so that means I have to pick up a pink and a teal bead and crisscross through this one. Okay, pull that tight. I now have this. It's looking pretty good. I'm going to do one more row with you guys, and then I'll let you go on by yourself. Okay, so again, this thread here that's sticking out the bottom in this direction, that thread is sticking out, and it's telling us that we have to pick up more beads with that needle. So I'm going to pick up a white, and my next color, I just did the teal. So again, if you look back to right here we were at, I had this teal, okay? I finished the pink, and then I have the teal. The next bead we have to pick up is white, and then purple, and then white. Okay, so I have my white on now. There's my purple, and here's another white. I'm going to slide these down and crisscross my needles through the white bead. Like this. Then I'll take my needle and pass through this teal bead. My left needle I'll do that with. Okay. And then going back to my right needle, I have to pick up a purple and a white and crisscross through this one. Bring that down. So now I have this. Okay, so with this thread right here, I have to pass through that teal bead. Through the teal. Okay, and I'll flip it over because I'm about to start a new row, and I'll swap my needles. This thread here is pointing down. That means I have to pick up more beads with that one. So I'm going to pick up a white bead, my 3mm and a 4, and crisscross through the 4. Bring it down. Okay, I'm going to pull this tight, and now you can see that this is what I have. So the next color I'm going to pick up, I ended with the purple right here, so if you look back, okay, we did a white and then purple, so if you look back, here's white and then purple. The next color you have to pick up is the green, and then a purple, and then a green, and we're going to cross to that, and we're going to go up that direction, okay? So that's pretty much it. Just keep going, doing this weave. If you feel like you are struggling, just rewind the video, watch it a few times, and it'll get you going. So keep going doing this until you get to the length you need for a bracelet. I started with the green, so I'm going to end with the green, and I'm trying to get an 8-inch. If you want a smaller bracelet, you're probably going to start with green and end with pink. that would probably be a 7-inch or a 7.5-inch bracelet. So keep on going doing this weave, and when I get to the end, I'll show you what to do next. Okay, I'm back and I'm ready to show you how to finish the bracelet off. So I am down here and I'm currently exiting, try to zoom in just right, out of this purple 4mm on the corner. Okay, what I'm going to do is take this thread right here that's coming out the bottom, and I'm going to pick up the green because that's my next color, and a purple and a green, and I'm going to slide them all down and crisscross through the second green one added. So I now have this. Okay, pulling it tight, I'm going to take this needle, this one here on the left, and I'm going to pass through that purple bead. Okay, and then I'm going to take this needle, the same one, this one here, it's on the inside, pick up a green and a purple. Okay, and I'm going to crisscross my needles through this purple. Bring that down. I now have this. Okay, so see this thread here? I'm going to leave this one here. This one will be picking up and is ready to pick up my beads for the loop of my clasp. This one over here, I'm going to take this thread right here, go through this green bead, through this purple bead, pick up a green and my purple, and I'm going to add those beads now. And then I have to reposition myself and exit back out of this bead so I can pick up those. So, I hope you could see this good. Okay, I'm going to pass through this green and through the purple, just like that. Pick up my green and my last purple. I'm going to pass through this green again. I'll go ahead and go around one more time because I have enough thread I could do it. Okay, going through here, going down this green, down through this purple in the middle, up through this green, then through this purple. Okay, I'm going to pull both ends tight, and now we have this. We are centered and ready to add our button. Okay, not our button, make our loop. We already have a button. I don't know what I'm talking about. Don't listen to me. Okay, I'm sliding my needles down my thread because they're kind of got a lot of room there. Okay, I'm going to pick up, I think it's 10, 4mm, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, 10 4mm. This is how much I need for my loop. Okay, I'm going to slide them down, and I have to take my other needle and pass through all 10 of them. And while I'm at it, I'm going to go through the purple 4mm where I started. Okay, I'm going to take my other needle and pass through that purple bead. Just like that. Pull this tight. Now one of my threads are probably longer, so I'm going to put them together here and see. Yeah, this one here is longer. It's like 2 inches longer. So I'm going to take this one and I'm going to go through all of these again a third time. I have to make sure that I pull this very tight. Don't need it loosening up. Okay, so there we go. Now I'm going to try my button. Yep, it works. And it looks really good. It's so pretty. It's a heavy bracelet, which is nice. So now we are ready to tie our knots. And I'll just zoom in real quick and show you what we got. Okay, so for tying knots, I wanted to make this kind of easy to do because it's kind of strange tying it, you know, through right angle weave like this. I think what I'm going to do is take my needles and pass through 5 beads, which there's 10 beads in this loop, not counting the purple one, just the teal ones. So right here's the center. So I'm going to take my other needle and pass through 5, the other half. Okay, so now my threads are actually meeting right there. So I think I'm going to tie a square knot, and then I'm going to go back down through those beads and tie more knots in between the beads. So I have this now, okay? So I'm just going to go over and under, pull that tight, and then over and under twice. It's actually a surgeon's knot, and pull that down. Okay, and then take my needle and pass through a bead, take my other needle, pass through the bead beside this one. Okay, so like this, and now I can tie a surgeon's, or not a surgeon's, a half hitch knot, but I actually put my own spin on it. Instead of going through once, I make a loop and go through it twice. Pass through a bead, which I've done this forever now. Pass through the hole, make a loop, and go through it twice. Pull it down, go through the next bead. Again, make a loop, and pass through it twice. Okay, and then go through the next bead. And I have to slide my needle further down my thread. So go ahead and do that same thing over here, tying a knot between all the beads. I think that I will tie a knot here before the purple, pass through the purple, come out, go through the green, and maybe I'll weave through here if I have a nice amount of thread, and I'll reinforce this with my thread and tie some more knots. So pretty simple tying knots in between these beads, and they are hidden, you don't really see them, so it looks good. So keep on going, tying your knots, and remember to never cut your thread at a knot. Always pass through a few more beads before you cut your thread, because if you cut right at the knot will unravel. This is it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like this video, leave me a comment, subscribe if you want to see more of my videos, and like me on Facebook. And don't forget to share pictures of the jewelry we've made from my videos on my Facebook page, and follow me on Pinterest. Thanks for watching.